A couple of practical tips here are the following. If you wake up with your phone, if you use your phone as an alarm clock, you need to have your phone in another room so that when you wake up, you don't just start snoozing it. Or worse, you wake up and you just start looking at your notifications. You are starting your day reacting. You are immediately starting in reaction mode, not giving yourself, your wiser self, your brain a chance to think about what you want to be doing or how you want to be spending your time. Better still if you get an alarm clock or not use your phone at all to wake up. This is the ideal. The next piece is notifications. If you have notifications turned on, you have a little red dot in your phone or on your email every time there's a Facebook message, every time you have an email, every time you have an Instagram like, you are completely getting distracted away from what is essential. So this means that anyone who wants to send you a message or your mom liking your, wedding photos from 10 years ago, you will suddenly get pulled into all these different directions. And again, your energy flows where your thoughts go. So when you have all these notifications constantly dinging and distracting you, or just simply the idea of seeing these red dots and knowing that there's something waiting for you, your mind is not focused on whatever is essential. You need to be focused to have great ideas. You need to be focused to follow whatever it is that your unique gifts and talents are leading you towards. So turn off all your notifications. Now, with this caveat, you need to set expectations on how you can be reached in case of an emergency. For me personally, I let people know that if you need to reach me, phone call or SMS, those are the two ways that my phone dings. Every other way, I choose to go into my phone. I open my email when I want to. Ideally, you open your email at select times in the day, depending on the frequency of emails that you get and how often you need to respond. But just because somebody emails you doesn't mean you need to respond right away. If they have something urgent, you need to teach them to then contact you in the ways that you designate as your, hey, if you need me in case of emergency. One way to do this is in your email to say something like, hey, here's the report that I owe you or that that you're waiting on me for. If you need to ask me any questions before tomorrow, please call me. Otherwise, I'll be going home at da-da-da time and I won't be checking my email. So setting expectations, setting boundaries. As a leader, you're not only managing your team, but you're also managing your time. You're managing the way that people take and use some of your time and the way that you use your time towards the things that are essential. So that brings me to my next point. You need to be the bouncer of your own schedule. So being the bouncer and only letting in what is essential. So this comes from Greg McKeown's book, Essentialism, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less, which is a fantastic book that goes into a lot of great time management stuff, and I highly recommend you read it if you haven't heard of it or read it already. But making a decision based on, is it a hell yeah? So what does that mean? So somebody says, oh, hey, Remy, do you want to get dinner next week? I want to invite you over and talk about some things. So what's that first reaction? Is it a hell yeah, I want to connect with this person. I've been wanting to get to know this person better. You like them as a friend. They're close to you. You love being with this person and you have fruitful conversations. Or are you wondering, why does this person want to get together with me? Gosh, I'm really busy. I don't know. Every time I get together with this person, they complain about their life and they suck my energy. So being mindful, and this is where this continued practice of meditation and mindfulness comes in, of what your first reaction is. Is it a hell yeah? If it's not a hell yeah, then it's I need to know more information, like, oh, maybe, well, what did you want to get together about? I have a kind of busy week, but what were you thinking? Or it's a no, or it's a, I've got a lot on my plate right now. Can I get back to you with another date that works in the future? So what questions we ask and how I take those meetings is an art, honestly, and how you do it will depend on you, because you want to be cognizant of that first gut feeling. If that first gut feeling isn't a hell yeah, then remember you are the bouncer of your schedule and you don't just let anyone in. My next time management tip for you is knowing what is sacred. So maybe you have a family, maybe you have other things like exercise or hopefully your meditation practice that you just do without fail. knowing what is sacred and actually scheduling that in so that other people don't schedule over your calendar. Many companies have shared calendars where if you want to invite a colleague to a meeting, you simply open up their calendar and you see that they're free and you put that meeting on their calendar. That used to happen to me, and suddenly my whole week would be filled up and I didn't have time to do any of the things that I knew I wanted to do. So what is sacred? And when that is sacred, when you know you want to be home for dinner, or when you know that weekends are not for work, that's really important. When you know that your morning routine includes exercise and meditation and yoga, or maybe it's your evening routine, whatever that is, blocking that time off in your calendar. Another key piece of knowing what is sacred is meal times. So if you are eating a meal in front of a screen, know that you are literally stimulating your nervous system, which is the opposite of what your nervous system needs to digest. The parasympathetic side of your nervous system is what allows you to digest and to gain nutrients from the food that you're eating. So if you're eating and shoveling food in your mouth while you're responding to emails or while you're looking at your phone even, you may think it's a relaxing time to catch up on Facebook notifications or all those things that I told you not to do whenever you wanted to be focused on what is essential. Know that you're taking away from your digestion. No wonder our society has so many digestion issues today. This, is just such a epidemic of not being able to eat mindfully. So taking 10 minutes to eat and just eat. Look at the food, taste the food, notice the textures. Maybe when you do that, you're more mindful about where your food comes from and how it was processed or what went into making it or growing it or what life went into living it. And so if you can eat your meals in a way that is sacred, then this will give you more time when you are busy because you will have absorbed the nutrients that are necessary for you to do what you do. Lastly, time management for leaders is about having boundaries. So this relates a little bit to being the bouncer of your schedule, but it's having boundaries to know what you will and won't do and being disciplined and sticking to that. So how you say no and how you ask for more information is something that will be unique to each of you. But one way could be if you're being asked by a client or by a colleague to do something and you have a mountain of things on your desk, you could ask something like, which one of these 6 projects do you want me to deprioritize, considering you've told me they're all really important? How can I make sure I get you what you need? That's really important skill set to be able to ask for more information and clarify. And it also communicates what's going on with you rather than just saying, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't have time, We've all been on the receiving end of those messages and they just make the person sound frazzled, and we might get frazzled, but you don't want to convey that. A really important piece of time management is not creating unnecessary deadlines. So what does that mean? It means that when you go into a pitch, for example, you're making a presentation and the prospective client is excited and says, yes, I'm interested, can you send me a proposal? And you are so excited and you respond with, yes, I'll get you that tomorrow. Suddenly, you've put a deadline on yourself for tomorrow. Now, you might already have the proposal ready and tomorrow's no big deal. Maybe not. Maybe you need a whole host of things that happen within your team to get a proposal out. Now, does that client need it tomorrow? You have no idea. It's very likely that that client may even be going on vacation and won't even look at your proposal for 2 weeks. So a better way to handle that situation would be, great, I'd love to get you a proposal. When do you think you'll need that by? When will you be looking at that? And getting an answer from them. Also asking, are there other people involved in the decision-making process of this proposal? And when will they be getting together with you to look at it? So that gives you information. So again, asking more questions. And this is so key so that you can manage your schedule, so that you can deliver and you can just be a badass in whatever it is that you do.